Just one leaf kills diabetes, melts fat, and lowers cholesterol. Why aren't seniors using it? Have your blood sugar levels been creeping up no matter what you eat? Do you feel like no matter how much you walk, how many pills you take, or how many healthy swaps you try, the weight around your belly and the cholesterol numbers just won't budge? You're not alone. Millions of seniors over 60 are struggling with this exact silent battle, and many of them don't even realize there's one humble leaf that could turn everything around. This isn't a rare exotic remedy. It's something used in traditional medicine for centuries, studied in modern labs, and even praised by researchers at respected institutions. It lowers blood sugar, melts stubborn fat, reduces cholesterol, and even helps with digestion and inflammation. Yet almost no one over 60 is using it. Why? What you're about to hear might shock you, not because it's dangerous, but because it's been hiding in plain sight while billions are spent on expensive drugs, powders, and restrictive diets. I'll reveal exactly what this leaf is. But first, we need to explore for daily habits that are quietly sabotaging your strength, energy, and ability to heal. Number 4, skipping your first glass of water in the morning. Now, you might be thinking, really? Water? That's hardly news. But this isn't just about drinking water. It's about the timing and the effect that first glass has on your metabolism, blood sugar, and even your brain. Most people wake up and reach straight for their tea or coffee. Some take medications on an empty stomach. Others wait until breakfast to have anything at all. But what happens in the hour after you wake up sets the tone for your entire internal system, and if you miss this window, you're already behind. Let's break it down. While you sleep, your body enters a fasting state. You're not eating, but your liver is still working, your kidneys are still filtering, and your brain is still active through the night. That first hour after waking is like a reset button. Your cells are dehydrated. Your blood is slightly thicker. Your stomach is empty, and your cortisol levels are naturally higher. This is your body's moment of vulnerability and opportunity. If you delay hydration, your body shifts into a mild state of stress. Blood sugar rises, digestion slows, and the body retains water instead of releasing it. For seniors, especially those managing insulin sensitivity, this can lead to morning spikes in blood glucose that linger longer than they should. And when you add coffee or tea before water, that diuretic effect makes things worse. Your kidneys lose fluid, but without replenishment, your heart has to work harder to push blood through slightly narrowed vessels. It's like trying to water a garden with a blocked hose. But here's what most people don't realize. When you drink a glass of water, even just 300 to 500 milliliters, within 15 to 30 minutes of waking, it does more than quench your thirst. It gently activates your digestive enzymes. It signals your liver that nutrients are incoming. And it wakes up your brain, which is 75% water. In fact, studies published in the Journal of Clinical Endocrinology found that early hydration improves insulin sensitivity by up to 24% in adults over 60. That's nearly as effective as some pharmaceutical interventions, but completely natural. Have you ever felt dizzy standing up in the morning? Or found your thinking a little foggy until mid-morning? Do your fingers feel stiff or your joints creak as you move from bed to bathroom? These aren't just signs of aging. They're often signs of mild dehydration at the cellular level. And if your blood sugar levels are also unstable, your body may be fighting two silent battles before you've even had breakfast. Here's the good news. You don't need to drink a liter all at once. In fact, it's better if you don't. Start with one small glass of room temperature water right after waking. If you want to take it a step further, add a slice of cucumber or a few drops of fresh lemon juice. These add trace minerals and help alkalize your stomach, which can ease bloating and stimulate bile flow, especially helpful for seniors with slower digestion. What about those who take morning medications? You can still drink water 15 minutes before your pills. This primes your body to absorb them more efficiently and reduces the likelihood of gastrointestinal upset. In fact, many medications for blood pressure or cholesterol work better when your body is properly hydrated, because your circulation and absorption pathways are more efficient. And here's a fascinating twist: early hydration also supports fat metabolism. A study from Germany found that drinking 500 milliliters of water increased metabolic rate by 30% for up to an hour, particularly in older adults. The water essentially jumpstarts the thermogenic process, warming the core slightly and activating mitochondrial function. In simple terms, your cells burn more energy when they're hydrated, especially if you're over 60. Now ask yourself, when was the last time you made that first glass of water a non-negotiable part of your morning routine? Has it been weeks? Months? Maybe never. Most seniors are never told how powerful this one habit can be, not just for hydration, but for blood sugar, digestion, and even mood. You might be wondering, if it's so simple, why don't more people do it? The answer is routine. Habits are automatic, and unless something disrupts the loop, they keep repeating. But now that you know, you can choose differently. And the shift is almost effortless. Try it for 3 mornings in a row. Set a glass on your nightstand before bed. When you wake, before coffee or emails or anything else, drink it slowly. Just observe how you feel by the end of that first hour. You might notice more clarity, a calmer stomach, and even steadier energy throughout the day. Remember, this isn't a magic pill, but it is a powerful signal to your body that healing and balance start first thing in the morning. And when you layer this on top of everything else you're doing, movement, nutrition, rest, it acts like a force multiplier. A gentle, daily push toward vitality. And this is just the beginning. Because the next habit on this list might be something you're doing every time you sit down to eat, and it's quietly making your blood sugar spike and crash all day long. If you're looking for more tips like this that make a big difference, be sure to visit thegoldenyearsrx.com and connect with others just like you. And subscribe to our channel for more daily insights that help you thrive, not just survive, in your golden years. Number 3 is something many people believe is completely harmless. In fact, you've likely been told it's good for digestion, great for your heart, or even the healthy choice. But what most seniors don't realize is that drinking fruit juice with meals, even 100% natural, no added sugar juice, can silently sabotage your blood sugar, melt away muscle, and keep your fat-storing hormones switched on for hours. Let's unpack this. You sit down to breakfast, maybe a bowl of oats, some toast, and a tall glass of orange juice. Or perhaps at lunch, you have a salad with apple juice on the side. It all seems healthy, fresh, natural. But here's the trap. When juice is removed from its original fruit, it becomes a concentrated dose of fructose and glucose with none of the fiber to slow it down. That means instead of your body gradually absorbing sugar over time, it rushes into your bloodstream like a tidal wave. Now think about this from your body's perspective, especially over 60. Your pancreas, which produces insulin, is no longer as responsive as it was in your 30s. Your muscles don't soak up sugar as quickly. Your cells are more insulin resistant, especially if you've been dealing with prediabetes or type 2 diabetes for years. So when that fruit juice hits your system, your body goes into overdrive trying to lower your blood sugar. It releases insulin fast. But here's the kicker, too much insulin not only stores the sugar as fat, especially around the belly, but it also blocks your body's ability to burn fat for fuel. This is called metabolic inflexibility, and it's one of the main reasons older adults struggle to lose weight even when they eat healthy. Now what happens next? You get a brief burst of energy, followed by a crash. Fatigue sets in. Brain fog creeps up. And because insulin is still high, your body thinks it's hungry again. That's why you may feel the urge to snack mid-morning or reach for caffeine by 2 p.m. The roller coaster continues, high sugar, high insulin, low energy, cravings. It's exhausting, and most people never make the connection back to that innocent glass of juice. Studies from Harvard and Tufts University have shown that even small daily servings of fruit juice raise the risk of developing type 2 diabetes by 21% in adults over 50. But even more importantly, researchers found that seniors who replaced juice with whole fruits or water had better insulin control, more stable energy, and lost more visceral fat over time. Have you ever noticed that your energy dips after meals? Or that you feel bloated, tired, or mentally sluggish for hours? Do your feet tingle, your legs swell, or your eyes feel heavy after lunch? These are all signs that your blood sugar may be spiking too high, too fast, and juice could be a hidden trigger. Here's the good news. You don't have to give up fruit altogether. You can still enjoy the natural sweetness and health benefits, but in the form nature intended. Eat the whole fruit, not just the juice. An apple with skin. A handful of berries. A few slices of orange paired with some protein. The fiber in the fruit slows down sugar absorption, keeps you fuller longer, and nourishes your gut microbiome in a way juice never can. And if you love having something refreshing with your meal, try infused water. Add slices of lemon, mint, cucumber, or even a cinnamon stick. These offer natural flavor, support digestion, and don't spike your blood sugar. Or sip herbal teas like rooibos, peppermint, or hibiscus, all of which have antioxidant properties and support circulation. One trick many nutritionists recommend for seniors is what's called preloading. That means eating a few bites of protein or vegetables before any carbohydrate or sweet drink. This slows down the glucose spike, helps your body release less insulin, and reduces fat storage after meals. You might also consider adding a teaspoon of apple cider vinegar to a glass of water before lunch or dinner. Several studies, including those published in the Journal of Functional Foods, have shown it helps reduce post-meal blood sugar by up to 30%, especially in older adults. But the most important takeaway: be aware of what you drink with meals. Because liquids absorb faster than solids, they have a stronger impact on your metabolism. And while water hydrates and supports, juice can secretly derail even the most disciplined efforts. Let me ask, how often have you finished a meal feeling full but not satisfied? Or noticed that despite eating less, your belly fat isn't budging? Or that your knees feel stiff in the afternoon, your ankles swell, or your vision blurs after eating? These aren't random symptoms. They're signs your blood sugar is crashing and spiking in ways your body can't keep up with. Juice might not be the only cause, but it's a silent contributor. Especially in older adults who've been told for years that a glass of orange juice a day keeps the doctor away. You're not imagining it. That fatigue. That brain fog. That stubborn weight. It's not just aging. It's what's on your plate and in your glass. Make the switch this week. Swap juice for water with lemon or a warm cup of cinnamon tea. Eat whole fruit with a few nuts or a piece of cheese. Give your body the tools to process sugar the way it was designed to, gradually, gently, and with balance. You'll be amazed at the difference in your energy, your digestion, and even your sleep. Because remember, small changes in your daily routine can lead to massive changes in your long-term health. And the next habit on this list is something you probably do every single day without question. But it might be keeping you from unlocking one of the most powerful, natural medicines nature has to offer. Now here's something unexpected at number 2. And it's something most people over 60 are told to do every morning. In fact, many seniors take great pride in it. It feels productive, organized, even healthy. But this one routine could be exhausting your metabolism, increasing insulin resistance, and even causing your liver to work overtime. What is it? Skipping breakfast or only having coffee in the morning? Now before you say, "But I'm not hungry in the morning," or "I heard fasting is good for you," let's look at what really happens inside the senior body when this becomes a habit. After the age of 60, your hormonal balance shifts. Your cortisol levels, that's the stress hormone, tend to be higher in the morning. Your body also becomes more insulin resistant, meaning it's not as efficient at managing blood sugar. On top of that, your muscle mass declines, and with it, your metabolic rate slows. These are all normal parts of aging. But they make your morning routine even more critical. So what happens when you skip breakfast or just sip black coffee? First, your body stays in a stress state longer. Cortisol remains elevated, which signals your liver to release glucose into the bloodstream, even if you haven't eaten. This spike in blood sugar might make you feel slightly energized at first, but over time it contributes to insulin resistance, weight gain around the belly, and even memory issues. Research from the University of Bath found that people who skipped breakfast had higher insulin levels and slower fat-burning rates for the rest of the day. And that effect is amplified in older adults. Now let's talk about coffee. While black coffee itself isn't inherently harmful, drinking it on an empty stomach can trigger an acid surge in the gut, irritate the digestive lining, and increase anxiety and jitteriness in some seniors. But more importantly, caffeine on an empty system spikes adrenaline, another stress hormone, which increases heart rate and blood pressure. Not ideal if you already struggle with hypertension, fatigue, or dizziness. Have you ever felt shaky before lunch? Had a wave of irritability or brain fog around 11 a.m.? Do you often feel cold in the hands or feet by mid-morning, or suddenly get hit with cravings for sugar or starch? These are your body's signals that it's running on stress chemicals instead of stable fuel. And skipping breakfast, especially as you age, can worsen these patterns. But here's the good news. You don't need to eat a full meal or force down food you don't enjoy. You simply need to provide your body with stabilizing nutrients, a small protein-rich start that calms the system, lowers cortisol, and wakes up your metabolism gently. One example: half a boiled egg with a few slices of avocado. or a spoonful of Greek-style yogurt with a sprinkle of ground flaxseed. Even a warm glass of water with lemon, followed by a handful of soaked almonds or a slice of whole grain toast with a little cottage cheese. These small, simple starts can trigger a cascade of metabolic benefits, including more stable blood sugar, lower cholesterol, better mental focus, and fewer cravings throughout the day. A landmark study in the Journal of Clinical Endocrinology and Metabolism showed that older adults who ate a balanced breakfast within 90 minutes of waking had significantly lower fasting insulin and improved glucose tolerance compared to those who skipped. Even more compelling, those who ate breakfast also had better sleep quality and less nighttime urination, both important markers of hormonal health after 60. So if you've been skipping breakfast because you thought it would help you lose weight, or simply because you weren't hungry, it might be worth reconsidering. Especially if you've noticed symptoms like energy crashes, mood swings, weak legs, or a stubborn belly that won't go away no matter how little you eat. You're not imagining it. And it's not just part of aging. It's the result of running your body on stress and caffeine instead of giving it the nourishment it needs. Here's an easy switch. Start your morning with a small activation snack. Think of it like priming an old engine. A small dose of healthy fat and protein helps your body feel safe, supported, and stable. Once you establish this routine, your appetite will regulate naturally, and you'll find you have more strength in your legs, better focus, and less reliance on afternoon caffeine or sugar. And if you still enjoy your coffee, that's perfectly fine, just pair it with something nourishing. You'll feel the difference almost immediately. Because as it turns out, the way you start your day determines how your hormones, blood sugar, and fat-burning abilities perform for the rest of it. Now get ready. Because coming up at number 1 is the one habit that directly blocks the power of the leaf we'll reveal at the end. It's something that seems unrelated at first glance, but it silently weakens your gut, inflames your liver, and stops your body from absorbing the very compounds that fight diabetes, fat, and cholesterol. If this has opened your eyes even a little, please take a moment to subscribe. We're here to give you the guidance most people never hear from their doctors. And if you want to take the next step with us, come visit thegoldenyearsrx.com. It's our private community of like-minded seniors learning how to age with strength, wisdom, and independence. Number 1 is a habit that often hides in plain sight, something so common, so casually accepted, that most seniors never question it. In fact, you've probably done it today without a second thought. But this one act could be quietly sabotaging your digestion, your liver, and your ability to absorb the very nutrients that keep blood sugar and cholesterol in check. It's drinking cold water or icy beverages with meals. Now you might be thinking, surely cold water can't be that bad. It's just water. And yes, hydration is essential. But the temperature and timing of that water, especially as you age, can have a powerful effect on your internal systems. Let's break it down. As we get older, digestion slows naturally. Your stomach produces less hydrochloric acid. Enzymes that break down food aren't as robust. And your circulation, particularly to the digestive organs, isn't as efficient. This is why many seniors feel bloated after meals or experience sluggish bowels even with a decent diet. Now, imagine pouring ice water onto a warm flame. What happens? The flame dims. The energy slows. That's exactly what happens to your digestive fire when you drink cold liquids while eating. Cold beverages constrict blood vessels in the stomach lining, reduce enzyme output, and slow the breakdown of proteins and fats. Instead of your digestive system acting like a smooth conveyor belt, it begins to back up, leaving food to ferment or stagnate. This might not sound like a big deal. But for seniors already dealing with blood sugar instability or fatty liver, this is a crucial turning point. Undigested food leads to excess fermentation, which can trigger gut inflammation. That inflammation interferes with your pancreas, the very organ responsible for insulin production. It also burdens the liver, which is working overtime to metabolize cholesterol and toxins. Have you ever eaten a seemingly healthy meal, grilled fish, vegetables, perhaps a little brown rice, but then felt gassy, tired, or even foggy afterwards? Do you often reach for something sweet after meals, not out of hunger but out of discomfort? These are subtle signs that your digestion has stalled. And cold drinks could be part of the problem. Research from Japan and traditional Chinese medicine practices both support the idea that warm fluids support digestion, while cold ones impede it. A study from the Journal of Gastroenterology and Hepatology showed that elderly adults who drank warm water with lemon before meals experienced better digestion, fewer gas-related symptoms, and improved liver enzyme levels compared to those who drank cold or room temperature water. But it gets more specific. The liver plays a key role in processing cholesterol. If that function is sluggish, cholesterol builds up in the blood. But your liver also helps process the antioxidants and polyphenol found in plant-based remedies, including the leaf we'll reveal in just a moment. If the liver is burdened by sluggish digestion and cold-induced stress, it can't fully activate these compounds. That means even if you're drinking herbal teas, eating greens, or taking a supplement, your body might not be getting the full benefit. Now here's where it all connects. When digestion slows, insulin levels rise. And when insulin stays high, your body stays in fat storage mode. That's why many seniors feel like they gain weight more easily, especially around the belly, even if they're not overeating. It's not always the food. Sometimes it's how the body processes the food. And temperature, surprisingly, plays a hidden role. So what's the solution? It's not about giving up cold water entirely. It's about timing and temperature awareness. Try sipping warm or room temperature water with your meals instead of chilled water. If you enjoy tea, opt for gentle digestive teas like peppermint, ginger, or fennel with your lunch or dinner. And instead of gulping down water during meals, take small sips. This supports the natural rhythm of digestion without overwhelming your stomach acids. Also, avoid drinking large amounts of fluid right before or after eating. Give your stomach a chance to do its job without dilution. This small shift can have a ripple effect: better digestion, lighter bowels, more energy after meals, and better absorption of the nutrients and plant compounds that regulate blood sugar, cholesterol, and inflammation. Have you ever noticed how traditional cultures serve warm soup or tea before meals? That's not just a culinary preference. It's a digestive primer. One that older bodies, especially those over 60, can benefit from immensely. If your stomach often feels heavy after eating, or your hands and feet get cold easily, or you've noticed more bloating with age, this might be a missing link. You don't have to change your whole diet. Just change how you support your body while eating. And now it's time. Because I will now be revealing the leaf that researchers around the world are calling a breakthrough in natural blood sugar control, fat metabolism, and heart protection. But here's the twist. Most people don't use it the right way. They either take too much, take the wrong form, or combine it with foods that cancel out its benefits. Let's unveil it together and learn how one simple leaf can transform your health from the inside out. Here is the powerful antioxidant leaf that's been used in traditional medicine for centuries, but is strangely missing from most senior wellness conversations. It's called guava leaf, and if you've never heard of it, that's not your fault. Most doctors in the West don't even mention it. But emerging science is starting to confirm what many cultures have known for generations. This humble leaf could be one of the most powerful natural tools for controlling blood sugar, melting stubborn belly fat, and lowering dangerous cholesterol levels, all without a single synthetic drug. Now, before we get into what it does, ask yourself this: do you ever feel a sudden wave of sleepiness after dinner, followed by a craving for something sweet? Maybe your legs feel heavy, or your brain gets foggy. Perhaps your belt doesn't fit like it used to, even though your diet hasn't changed much. If this sounds familiar, it's not just age catching up to you. It could be insulin resistance, slowly building in the background. Here's what most people don't realize. After 60, the body's ability to regulate blood sugar becomes less efficient, even in people who've never had diabetes. The pancreas doesn't respond as quickly. The cells become sluggish. And every carb-heavy meal acts like a slow-release sugar bomb. Your blood sugar spikes, then crashes. And over time, this pattern leads to fat accumulation around the belly, increased cholesterol, and the slow hardening of your arteries. But this is where guava leaf steps in. Unlike most herbs, which have a gentle effect, guava leaf hits 3 major issues at once, and it's backed by peer-reviewed research. A study published in Nutrition and Metabolism found that guava leaf extract significantly reduced post-meal blood sugar spikes in patients with prediabetes. It works by inhibiting alpha-glucosidase, an enzyme that breaks down carbohydrates in the small intestine. In plain terms, it slows how fast sugar enters your bloodstream and gives your body a fighting chance to process it properly. But that's not all. Guava leaf is rich in quercetin, a natural compound that improves insulin sensitivity. That means your cells become more responsive, like tuning an old radio to a clear signal. When insulin works better, your body can burn fat instead of storing it, particularly the visceral fat around your liver and organs, which is the most dangerous type. You may not see it, but if your waist has thickened or your energy crashes after meals, that internal fat is probably building. And what about cholesterol? Here's where things get really interesting. A Japanese clinical trial found that people who drank guava leaf tea 3 times a day for 12 weeks had a significant reduction in LDL cholesterol, the bad kind, and a measurable increase in HDL, the protective kind, without any other changes to diet or exercise. This matters because high cholesterol and blood sugar are often linked, and together they dramatically increase stroke and heart attack risk in older adults. So let's pull this together. Guava leaf helps flatten blood sugar spikes, improves insulin sensitivity, supports fat burning, and lowers cholesterol, all while protecting your arteries and brain. It's like a protective net woven from nature itself. And yet, how many times have you seen it on a prescription pad or mentioned in a doctor's office? Exactly. Now, here's what you might be feeling if this is missing from your routine. Do you find yourself waking up groggy, even after 8 hours of sleep? Does your belly feel bloated in the evening? Are your feet cold at night or your hands slightly shaky before meals? These can all be signs of dysregulated blood sugar, and they often go unrecognized until it's too late. But here's the hopeful part. You don't have to overhaul your diet or start taking handfuls of pills. You can begin by simply brewing a cup of guava leaf tea with your dinner. Just 1 teaspoon of dried guava leaf steeped for 5 to 10 minutes is enough. It's naturally caffeine-free and has a mild, earthy taste, slightly floral, slightly sweet. Many seniors who try it report better sleep, fewer cravings, and a lighter, more energized feeling the next morning. Consistency is key. Like most natural remedies, it works best as a routine, not a quick fix. Some people also take guava leaf in capsule form, especially if they travel or prefer not to brew tea. Look for standardized extracts from reputable brands, and always consult your healthcare provider before adding new supplements, especially if you're on diabetes or cholesterol medication, since guava leaf can amplify their effects. Have you felt like you're doing everything right, walking more, eating smaller portions, but still not losing the belly? This might be the missing piece. It's not about discipline. It's about restoring your body's natural rhythm, and guava leaf helps do exactly that. Most importantly, this isn't just about looking slimmer. It's about avoiding the hidden dangers that come with imbalanced blood sugar, memory loss, vision problems, poor circulation, and yes, reduced mobility and stroke risk. Every time you lower a spike, you protect your nerves, your eyes, and your brain. And that's something every senior deserves, not just a longer life, but a sharper, stronger, and more independent one. So the next time you prepare your evening meal, ask yourself, what would happen if you added just 1 more leaf to the plate, not as garnish, but as medicine? The kind your grandparents may have used. The kind your doctor may have never mentioned. Because sometimes, the most powerful solutions are hiding in plain sight. If you've made it this far and any part of this message resonates with you, please take a moment to subscribe to our channel. It helps more seniors like you discover tools they've been missing their whole life. And if you want daily health tips, community support, and herbal routines designed just for you, visit thegoldenyearsrx.com. That's our private community where we focus on aging wisely together.